Absolutely. So, class of 2023. Last time we were on here, we were wrapping up the class of 2022, kind of going through to see who finished up there at the top. Obviously, Duke finished number one in the team rankings. They are in the early pole position for the class of 2023, have already done some really nice work there. But I'm curious to get your take on the race for number one in the class of 2023. There are 4 guys right now who have a 99 ranking from 24/7 Sports. Gigi Jackson, who 24/7 has at number one, he is committed to North Carolina. Then you got DJ Wagner, who is number one in the 24/7 composite, number 2 according to 24/7 Sports. Maybe a Louisville lean. Kentucky has always thought to have been in the mix there. And then number 3, Justin Edwards. Number 4, Xavier Booker. All 4 of those guys have a 99 ranking. How open is this race to be number one in the class of 2023?
Yeah, I think it's wide open. This is a class without a definitive number one so far. DJ Wagner is the player who, historically speaking, has had that spot for almost his entire career to date. He's also, in terms of sheer productivity, it's hard to argue that there's anybody better, because he has been a high volume scorer who continues to add new weapons and just continues to put up numbers, and also is getting more efficient while doing it the entire way. Gigi Jackson is someone who's really ascended within the last year. Still just scratching the surface of his potential. He's a high level athlete. He's really bouncy around the rim. He can impact the game in the paint on both ends of the floor, but he's also got a developing face up skill set. And then Xavier Booker, who Eric Bossi has been super high on all spring. He had the opportunity to see him on a couple different occasions this spring. I just saw him for the first time live this year at USA Basketball, the training camp out in Houston. And his upside is as high as anyone's, because we're talking about a guy who's right around 7 feet, who runs with the type of long, bouncy, fluid strides that you just can't teach, and that everybody, like my mom could be at the game and be like, wow, who's that guy running like that? I mean, it's just so obvious. And at the same time, he's hammering dunks. He's got touch out to the 3-point line. He's in the very early stages of his development. He's got to learn how to kind of keep the motor running at full throttle the whole time, impact the game from start to finish. But in terms of sheer upside, if you were ranking based on that, he might be number one. And then Justin Edwards is a guy who, quite honestly, internally, he almost finished at number 2 this time around. I know Travis Branham is a huge advocate of him, and rightfully so. I mean, we're talking about a big lefty wing who is a volume scorer and a versatile scorer. And when you start projecting down the road to highest levels and what is most coveted in today's NBA, and then you say, geez, that's a prototype that is really more valuable than a conventional big man. So I think all 4 of them, when you start projecting them out long term, have a legitimate case. And this is a race that's going to go on for the next 11 months, and is and the other thing too is we might see other players enter into the conversation. So I think this is wide open, and it makes for a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is why this insight is so valuable. The interesting thing about Xavier Booker, number 78 in the composite, number 4 according to 247. You guys are in on him on the ground floor, whereas maybe others in the industry haven't seen him as much. They're, maybe not going to come around until some of the summer circuit really starts to heat up.
Well, and so again, let's just full disclosure. I obviously came over from ESPN. I was there 2 months ago. I participated in the last ESPN ranking. And at that point in time, it was right after the high school season. Xavier Booker hadn't really done much yet. Kind of his emergence has started this spring. So I think part of the reason for the variance within the composite is the fact that people have updated their rankings at different times. And certainly I think that 24/7 and Eric in particular has been at the forefront of recognizing his talent and identifying it. But I think that once everybody updates their rankings, whether it's probably right after the July recruiting period, you're going to see he's at minimum a consensus top 10 player in the country.